Okay, so this thing, let me stabilize. Oh my god. Okay, so I broke it down into like a 3-step process, because this is basically like the, oh, what do I call it, the decision making tree that sort of my brain goes through when we look at coverage and decisions. So things that I asked were, meetings, regular ones, and when they are, so you can take that into account. Your busy times, so that's going to be critical in step 2. When do you, the department head, have most availability? Because this can do one of 2 things. It can tell you the times you least need somebody, right? So it seems like obviously you're not busy Wednesday afternoons and Tuesday days. So this is a day or an opportunity for you to realize that like you might not want to use your resources on those days and times. So just a little bit of prioritization. For programming, it's good to see that right now you're doing Thursday out of need, but if your goal is Friday, Saturday, Sunday, then absolutely, again, identifiable way of where to allocate your resources. And then when do you think one-on-ones would be best for the public? And one thing that I think you could do that's kind of rare is you could assign set days. So like, oh, we do one-on-ones on, if you want to give an example, Sunday, Wednesday, Thursday, right? And then you intentionally schedule people then to be able to assist. One thing I noticed is that you were there all day. So I think that kind of answers some of the follow-ups I had. Who does one-on-ones? Just you. It looks like it's just during your shift days. Or will new staff do them as well, but then that can also change what you offer, which is pretty exciting. I guess I shouldn't be distracted. Hey, look, people are in. Okay, anyways. And then what programs do you want your new staff to be in charge of? I think that's important too, because you'll only be able to offer certain things off of days that they work, right? Obviously. So we'll scroll over to step 2. This is kind of some pre-work. Again, factors that help. So for step 2, this is a way for you to prioritize your bare minimum needs. So level 1, I kind of called it address basic coverage needs, but I mean like bare minimum, bare bones. So at the absolute least, when do you need people and when can they go? And I mean like, if you had to stretch your resources as much as possible and had no other option, this is your worst case scenario. So I know that for a lot of them, we had like this dialogue of comments going back and forth, like, why did you do 45? I think that kind of helps explain. So at the very least amount, if you weren't working on a Sunday or you're off and you needed to stretch your coverage, do you really need someone there at the 15? Or can they get everything you need to get done 15 minutes before open at the 45? So that's kind of my mentality, is like, for me, in the lab, you really only need someone. Well, and you might have to remind me, you do have a register? I can't remember, but I think you do. I guess I could pull your DCRs. But, so would 15 minutes be enough? Is the 30, enough? Can you do someone, for example, I'll switch over to, I guess I'll keep the Sunday example. Can you do a 9:30 shift? And that gives enough time to start the computers and to do money. And then for end shift, I mean, 45 is probably like everything shuts off, but that's probably not enough time to like clean and everything. So could you have someone there until the 6 instead of the 6:15? So those are your, again, bare minimum. Not saying you're going to do them. It'd be great to have, someone full shift to full shift, but it's just, I mainly asked all of this because you really start have to looking at part-time employees as like a scarce resource, right? Because they are, and you're getting a whole bunch, so that's a nice high quality problem to have. But like, again, just bare minimum. So this is ways that how to address the coverage needs you have at a super bare bone kind of scenario. Anyways, so I'll let you kind of go through and think through for the rest of the days. So like for me personally, I would stick to like maybe that 9:30. So, and then of course it does that. Don't feel serious. Where's the little, no, oh well, sorry, you get what I mean. And then, so for the 8, maybe 8 o'clock on the dot would be your bare minimum. But again, this comes down to branch culture. So if your branch is used to, no, you should have somebody at the 15 or have someone close at the 15, then definitely go with that too. But again, these are just hypotheticals. of bare minimums, right? Level 2 was things that are important and non-negotiable. So do they all have to do register? Probably. Do they all, and they have to learn, right? And so one thing, the reason I kind of do these is you want to build variety in your staff member schedules so that all of them have the opportunity to do opening and closing, right? You wouldn't want to just have someone who only does opening, only does closing. While that does create expertise, it does not create flexibility. So then they all have to do one-on-ones with you. And the reason I put that, so I guess maybe over here I can, like, we could do a justification of why. So one-on-ones with supervisor is they need to overlap with you on a day, right? And the reason I asked when you're least busy is this is a good time to plug them in because you have availability Tuesday, Wednesday, and it seems like your branch isn't as busy on Tuesdays or Tuesday mornings or Tuesday days. So that is a good time to schedule some staff members to work. Obviously not everyone would be able to work only Tuesdays at those times, but it's just, again, creating identifiable opportunities for you to be able to work with your staff in a not as busy way. And then also this can help give them off desk time for them to make those programs, or you off desk time, or you time, because now you'll be supervising much more people. You'll have to do like monthly one-on-ones, you'll have to do evals and all this stuff. So just identifying, if you schedule them for your coverage, you can now get this stuff done. And then programming, again, the decisions that need to be made here is, and for one-on-ones, I'm sorry, is, are they going to be doing them? Are you going to start with just you and Diana? Do you want to start them 6 months from now once everyone has passed probation? Just things for you to think about there. And then also this can help with their goal setting for their 6-month evaluations, or 3-month, depending if they transfer or not. And then finally, level 3 is, this is kind of your goal of like, hey, goals are really nice to have. This is the ultimate thing I'd like to do. So I believe that you have somewhere out there in the world, and